what motivates me is the fact that I have the possibility to be a blessing for somebody else. I'm in the morning, the first time when I open my eyes, I'm blessed because I'm alive. So I have to take advantage of that opportunity to be a blessing for somebody else. So I'm leaving my house grateful to be alive, but also looking for somebody else who may need that little spark or sweet touch.
Welcome to the Dream Home Podcast, the show where real estate meets real talk. Hosted by John Nagle, a seasoned expert with over $7 billion in real estate financing experience. This podcast features top realtors, builders, and financial pros. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, we've got the tools to help you make smarter moves. Here's your host, John Nagle.
Hey, everybody. This is John Nagle from CMG Home Loans, and you're listening to the Dream Home Podcast, the show where we explore the communities, people, and programs that help turn your dream of home ownership into reality. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by an outstanding guest, Manuel Chavez, a luxury global specialist with Coldwell Banker Apex Realtors, proudly serving the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Originally from El Salvador, Manuel has served the last 23 years becoming part of the DFW fabric, earning a reputation for excellence in customer service, high-end real estate, and heartfelt client care. With a business administration degree, 2 decades in sales, multiple prestigious awards, and a passion for helping families and investors alike, Manuel truly embodies what it means to be a world-class real estate professional. Today, we're diving into what makes him stand out, his approach to serving clients, and why now might be the perfect time to invest or move in DFW. Manuel, welcome to the Dream Home Podcast. We're so excited to have you here and appreciate you taking time to visit with us today.
It is my pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me, John.
Thank you. And so, Manuel, let's kick things off with a big one. What would you say are your superpowers? What makes you stand out in the highly competitive DFW real estate market?
I would say probably the motor to create everything happen in our career is the passion for the positive impact for the clients. We want to make sure there is some before and after our experience with the clients. Our goal is to serve the clients and make that such a big impact in their life to the point that they remember me forever.
Yeah, that's awesome. And if you had to pick one thing, the one unique skill that you believe has been a game changer for your success, what would that be?
Oh, that's a big question. I would say probably, once again, our culture is about people. So the main point is not transactions, no economics benefits, but people.
Okay. And then you built a career in helping people find not just a house, but a home. How do you approach helping clients, whether they're first-time home buyers, luxury investors, or growing families?
The experience is telling us the main factor that we need to approach is the education. Regardless if they're first-time buyers or investor or multi-million-dollar house, we need to educate the clients. We need to provide them what they need to know before they make a decision, especially when they don't know what is available in the market. The market changes every day. So we cannot be talking about what happened last month. We have to be updated. We have to continuously be educated in order to transport that information to the clients for the benefit to make the best decision in the future. To buy a house is not go to the store, get a Coke. It is something very important because it might change your life in the future. So we need to focus on the best knowledge possible to provide the resources needed for the client.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. So can you share a story of a client who faced some challenges and how you helped them overcome the hurdles?
Wow. I remember, there's so many, but I remember one. He was a client who had some issues with credit and also money-wise. They need to have a house. Family is growing and it was not in the best condition. However, we took the process as a challenge. It wasn't easy. It was not a sale for 2 or 3 days after. We took about a year in order to organize the credit, organize the finance, educate them in what to do, what not to do, because TikTok is not going to give you the right answer. So we provide them all the whole way from 500 credit to 700 credit, accumulate enough money for down payment, but also when you improve your credit and you got financial stability, you qualify for more benefits. So I remember we were able to get the down payment assistance and also seller's concession from the seller who they would get in the house from. And it was so impressive because at closing table, instead of he paid for it, he got a $3,000 check back.
Wow, that's incredible. What an amazing story.
It was.
Wow. So this is one of the favorite parts of this show. Let's talk about something awesome. Tell me about an experience where you felt you truly made a lasting impact for a client or in your community.
Wow. Wow, that is actually something I always remember. It was this lady moving from Puerto Rico with his family. And they've been renting here in the United States. And they didn't know they were, because of lack of communication with the language barrier, they didn't know what the document signed by then from the management company and the apartment complex, it was the eviction notice.
Oh, no.
They have actually kids with autism, and they require special care. Unfortunately, they were living above the manager's apartment, and she complains about everything all the time. Was not enough patient, and she told them then they were going to be transferred to a different apartment, and they need to be signed some documents. But what they were signing was an eviction notice.
Oh, no.
So they came to me and said, hey, can you help us to rent a house because we cannot live in an apartment due to the circumstances with our kids. I went through the whole scenario and I said, well, I don't think you should be renting. You're capable to buy. And she was like, no, it's no way. And then we went deep in resources. I spoke with a couple of builders that I have good relationship with, and I asked them for a special deal for the client as far as the price, but also interest rate. Credit was good, resources was limited, but we find a way to make them buy a house. And now they own a house. They don't have to worry about the kids anymore. That was very impressive because the faces I saw at closing table, that's something I'm going to bring with my heart on my life.
Yes. Wow. Moments like that are so powerful, aren't they?
Yes.
My goodness. So, Manuel, what keeps you motivated every day to continue delivering that level of service?
That's a great question. And actually, several times I've been asked for. What motivates me is the fact that I have the possibility to be a blessing for somebody else. I'm in the morning, the first time when I open my eyes, I'm blessed because I'm alive. So I have to take advantage of that opportunity to be a blessing for somebody else. So I'm leaving my house grateful to be alive, but also looking for somebody else who may need that little spark of sweet touch.
Yeah, that is so true. Every day is a blessing that we're able to be walking here on this earth and to be able to help others. That's so true. So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about resources. Buying or selling real estate today takes a lot more than just putting up a listing. It's about having the right tools. What resources, systems, or services do you offer that truly elevate the experience for your clients?
Well, you have such a great question today, John. I will say, let's divide it in between sellers and buyers. It's totally different thing. But what they have in common, both of them, is education. As far as first-time buyers, we want to make sure they understand what they do, how big the impact will be starting the pre-approval process all the way to the closing table. So we need to know the resources they have and the resources we can provide to them. What is involved with the responsibility to own a house. We need to educate them about taxes. We need to educate them about home insurance. Also for inspection, how important it is to have, regardless of the new owner pre-owned house, to create a good inspections on the house, because that some way guarantee the future of the property. And also educate them how to financially be stable financially in order to accomplish the goal to have the house in the future. The goal is not just to buy a house and then, fail through the payments, is to be stable enough to make a safe decisions in order to keep it for a long time. See, this is the first time buyer, but it's not the only time you're going to buy. And that is important. But our work doesn't end on finish, we got closing and that's it. No, this is the first step for you growing wealth. That's what we want. People get understanding it's not as hard as people think. It is doable and it's possible as long as they educate in the right way. That is for the buyer point of view. From the seller's point of view, and we want to make sure the house is in the best condition possible. We put an effort and we provide inspection for roofing and for foundation with no cost for the seller. We also provide professional staging services. We provide photography, also professional. We do a very meticulous walkthrough to the house to make sure it's covering the most significant situation or issue the house maintains before the house hit the market. We provide conscious numbers and comps. We call comps as a market analysis to see what is in the market. What's your competition? What's going on with the interest rate? What is the expectation, realistic expectation, and time frame to sell the house in the best way possible? So we try deep as anybody else to provide as much information needed to get the best answer possible.
Wow, those are huge advantages. So also tell us, what advice or strategies would you give to someone considering investing in DFW real estate right now?
That is actually a super good question. 2025 is the year for DFW. It is forecast from a little bit over a year ago, then this is the place to invest. Texas is another country inside the country. It's totally different economy, is different way to management from the government point of view until the county point of view. It is completely different. And most of the numbers nationwide doesn't apply for Texas. With that being said, it is the safest place to put your money on it. You're never going to lose in real estate. I mean, when the people say, I'm going to wait until the interest goes down, just because you're waiting for the interest rate come down doesn't mean the price is not going to go up. So one way or another one, wait is equal to lose money. You're going to pay more later anyway. Even if you're thinking about you're going to get a 3.99% interest rate again, which is we will need another pandemic to hit that. Things like that. DFW is, probably the best place to put the money for real estate in the country. We only are developed not even 30% for the whole Texas territory. We got 70% to grow. Everything goes on north, and everything is bigger, newer, nicer in Texas. So you can tell us 160 families per week move to Texas or on different states. So I think we have enough data to support that.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. This is the most amazing market in the country for real estate. And when we help someone get into that new home, we know that we're doing a good job on helping them create wealth for the future and generational wealth as well. So let's take a behind the scenes for a minute. What is it like for a client to work with you from the first conversation to closing day? What kind of experience can they expect?
Well, I would say probably most of the clients that come with more question than answer, they have fear, but they don't know what to do. They don't know what to expect. And they want to have the best way, explain it in the best way possible. So what we try to do is make it simple. We partner with great lenders. We partner with also great title companies. Most of them will be bilingual. And matter of fact, in our team, my team is Living Dallas team. We are not only bilingual, but we have 4 different resources of language. The Hebrew, we have Italian, we got Korean, we got English, and Spanish.
Wow.
So our agents are capable to get the client from zero, literally, and go all the way to the table, negotiating repair, negotiating the terms, getting a down payment assistance if needed, getting the best concession from the seller if needed. So this is expectation the client don't have it, because whenever we start explaining to them the process, they were like, wow, this is way more deeper than what I expected. Because, when you see on TV the shows when buying and selling a house so easy, it only lasts for an hour. But the process could be as fast as 23 days or it could be as long as a year. So we need to be prepared for each of those clients, accomplish the goal regardless of time, regardless of condition.
Yes, absolutely. So for someone thinking about making a move to DFW or investing in this hot market, what would you say to encourage them to reach out to you?
I would say, let's have a conversation. Let's have a coffee if it's possible. If they are out of the state, let's have a Zoom call and get more to know me, to know you. Tell me your whys. Why do you want to move to Texas? What the expectation? What's the reason for? And based on that information, we can get the best scenario possible. Because north and south, it may be good for you, for me, but not for everybody. So we need to understand exactly the reasons why they're moving to provide the resources that need to be the goals.
Okay, well, Manuel, this has been absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your insights, stories, and expertise with us today. For anyone listening, if you're thinking about buying, selling, relocating, or investing in DFW real estate, Manuel Chavez is the name you need to know. You can connect with him through the links in our show notes or visit him at his page, manuelchavez.cbapex.com. And if you're planning to buy a home and want to get pre-approved or explore your best financing options, visit us at dreamhomepodcast.com or reach out to me, John Nagle at CMG Home Loans. Please take a moment to subscribe to the Dream Home Podcast, leave a comment, and should share today's episode with someone you know who's thinking about making a move. Thanks again for tuning in. See you next time on the Dream Home Podcast. And Manuel, thanks again. We really appreciate your taking time, and this has really been a great podcast to enjoy it with you and your expertise.
It's been a pleasure for me. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Dream Home Podcast, hosted by John Nagle. Ready to take the next step toward your dream home? Visit www.dreamhomepodcast.com for resources, tips, and expert advice. If you enjoyed today's episode, subscribe, leave a review, and join us next time for more real estate insights and mortgage tips. Until then, happy home hunting.